You're listening to Mysteries Beyond. What mysteries lie beyond the reach of our senses? And who are you in this vast multiverse? Hello, and welcome to Mysteries Beyond. I'm your host, Laura Lavender. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the evil eye. I'm sure many of you know what I'm talking about, but for those of you who don't, it's those little blue eyes that many people wear, most commonly on a necklace or on a bracelet. It is believed that people can intentionally or unintentionally transfer negative energy to you by simply staring at you, just because they have feelings of jealousy and or envy. Because when you're succeeding in life, it is known that jealousy and greed usually tend to follow, and that can come in the form of malevolent stares. Therefore, by wearing this amulet, it can protect you from misfortune, injury, and harm. Many cultures believe in the evil eye, and it is known by many names throughout the world. In Greece, it is known as Mati. In Japan, it's known as Hashi. In the Philippines, it's known as Usag. Italy, it's known as Mal-Okyo. In Islam, it's known as Al-Ain. In Latin America, it is known as Mal de Ojo. And in Turkey, it's known as Nazar. Because eyes are said to be the windows to our soul, eye contact can create an intensely personal connection. Glaring or an intense stare can convey power and authority over another. And so that might leave one wondering, who is more prone to giving and receiving the evil eye? It is said that people with blue or colored eyes are more susceptible to holding and being able to give the malevolent stare. But also, they have a heightened power against the evil eye, which is why it is believed to be the reason that the ocular amulet is blue. Another reason for its color is because it comes from Egyptian glazed mud, which contains a high percentage of oxides. The copper and the cobalt give that blue color whenever it's baked. And also, the color blue can symbolize good karma, positive energy, and protection. And babies and children are also said to be more vulnerable and susceptible to receiving the evil eye. So, how do you know if you've been affected by this evil eye? Well, according to Greek and other cultures, you'll feel a heavy energy. You'll also start to feel fatigued for no reason. You'll have really bad headaches or migraines. A feeling of being stuck or just having a lack of motivation, creation blocks, almost as if your passion has been drained from you. A sense of thoughtlessness. And unfortunately, unexpected emergencies and accidents, such as falling down or breaking or fracturing a bone or bones. You might lose your job, or your pets might end up getting sick. These are all misfortunes that people who have been affected by the evil eye are said to experience. And so, how can you prevent evil eye from happening to you, aside from wearing the ocular amulet? Well, many cultures have different ways of preventing this. Muslims, for example, will recite certain prayers and verses from the Quran in order to protect themselves. It is also customary for them to say mashallah, which means God has willed it, when admiring a person or an object. In the Philippines, whenever a person praises a baby, they lick their finger and rub it onto the baby's foot or arm. As for Greece, Romania, and India, praising a child publicly is actually considered taboo, for the compliment will draw in the attention of the evil eye. And in order to ward off the evil eye, parents may ask the person who gave the compliment to immediately spit in the child's face. Because spit is harmless, and yet it's insulting enough to negate the compliment. And in Mexico or Latin America, I know from personal experience that you'd have to either touch the baby or the item that's being admired in order to break the curse. I say personal experience because a while back, when I was attending Mass, I remember being outside of the doors of the church. I was outside because I don't really like to be in large crowds, but that's beside the point. And there were other people around, but to my right side, just a little behind me, I remember there was a woman who was accompanied by her friend or maybe her sister, I'm not sure, but she had a baby in her arms, and this baby was more or less about a year old, or maybe just like a month or a couple months shy of being a year old. And this baby, or baby girl, kept staring at me, and she gave me the evil eye. No, I'm kidding. So I kept looking back, because when you get that sensation that someone's staring at you, so you turn back. So that's what I did. I kept turning back, and I kept smiling at the baby, and the baby kept smiling back at me. She was being very, very distracting. I was supposed to be paying attention to Mass, but she kept distracting me. And so after a couple of minutes of waving at her or smiling at her and kind of playing with her from afar, her mom came up to me and she was just like, touch her, touch my baby. And I remember being weirded out by that and thinking, that's very direct and random. And at the time, I had no idea that the evil eye was a thing, until the lady just told me, if you don't touch her, you're gonna give her the evil eye. And I remember thinking, I have no idea what that is, but okay. And so I touched her little foot, and then the lady just backed away and we continued on with Mass. That incident has always stayed with me. And I just remember thinking, what a strange incident. And looking back at it, I think what made it stranger was the setting. Because we are supposed to be Catholic and we were in Mass, and Catholics don't believe in those kinds of things. But like anything, I guess some do. But remember, the evil eye doesn't happen all the time, so it's really important not to blame anything and everything on it. Don't get trapped in that mindset. Remember, you're not a victim of circumstance, and the world is not out to get you. So that's my story involving the evil eye. But if you have one, I would really, really, really like to hear it. So share it with me, okay? And that's it for this episode. So thank you guys so much for listening. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode, and if so, go ahead and subscribe so that you may be notified of all other future episodes. And don't forget to check out our website at www.mysteriesbeyond.com, and or follow us on social media on Facebook at Mysteries Beyond, or on Instagram at lauralavender.mb. And lastly, if you have any questions or any feedback, or if you want to share that evil eye story, just go ahead and email me. You can email me at lauralavender.mb@gmail.com. Thanks again for listening to Mysteries Beyond. I'm your host, Laura Lavender, and I'll see you guys next episode.